Yasmin Young here with Spill the Tea TV, and today I've got to spill some tea on the new, maybe not so new Real Housewives of Atlanta cast members, Nick Gordon, and new allegations against him, as well as Nicki Minaj possibly being pregnant. Details on that to come a little later, but first, let's jump right into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. After months and months of speculation about who was going to replace Nene Leakes, apparently it's been announced. According to Gossip via TMZ, Marlo Hampton and Sheree Whitfield have been added to the cast, and of course they were both previously on the cast, so this should be interesting. Marlo apparently is coming back as a quote friend of the cast, end quote, and Sheree I guess is going to be on there full time, but you know Marlo and Sheree had their fights, so we'll see what happens with that. And here's a flashback to one of their fights on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I went next door because I invited them to go to Nobu. I was like, okay, well, you know, whatever, have a great time, bye, see you tomorrow. They were like, well, actually, you know, since you're actually not joined Nene's hip and you're your own person, we thought, you know, we would like to invite you.
I'm going to go and ask them. I just want to make sure that I wasn't invited and she invited Cynthia.
Marlo!
Sheree! Nah. You invited Cynthia just then to come to your friend's event. So what about me?
You can come if you want to. We going right now. You ready?
No, but it's just the point that y'all, that's why I'm saying I don't have to deal with it. This is fake and phony to me. If you don't like me,
phony?
Because you invited me.
I have no idea why Marlo is so pressed about going to the party with me. Marlo and I are not friends. What's the problem?
I'm about to leave.
Okay, and anyway, that's why you don't have the man. Go ahead with them with your ugly.
Wait!
Now, I don't know etiquette, but I know you're not supposed to say that.
I never heard it.
Actually, the word about an 80-year-old man.
This chick has a criminal past, but I'm not afraid. Don't let the cute face fool ya.
Can't wait for the drama. Let's move on to a really, so tragic. Every time I talk about it, it just reminds me of the young life that was lost. Well, Bobbi Kristina is who I'm speaking of. Her conservator, Belidia Hargrove, actually has added a new allegation against Nick Gordon in the civil suit that they filed against him, claiming that he gave her a, quote, toxic cocktail, end quote. On Friday, Belidia added to the complaint, writing, quote, I am deeply saddened by the recent death of Bobbi Kristina Brown. I extend my sincerest condolences to all of her family. Consistent with and to the letter of the civil action I initially filed on behalf of Bobbi Kristina, we will continue to pursue justice for her. I have filed today an amended complaint against Nicholas Gordon, adding account for wrongful death and for pain and suffering. We will leave no stone unturned in seeking justice for Bobbi Kristina Brown, end quote. The lawsuit was amended to say the, quote, defendant gave Bobbi Kristina a toxic cocktail, rendering her unconscious, and then put her face down in a tub of cold water, causing her to suffer brain damage, end quote. Bobbi Kristina's family even spoke out at her homegoing about seeking justice for Bobbi Kris.
About 250 people attended Bobbi Kristina Brown's funeral in Georgia, close family and friends. ET can report the casket was closed and draped in pink, red, and white flowers.
It was very simple and an elegant ceremony.
Bobbi Kristina's aunt Pat Houston sat near the 22-year-old's father, Bobby Brown. The families have been at odds over this tragedy, but hugged and united in support of each other Saturday, except for one disturbance.
Justice for Bobbi Kristina.
That's Bobbi Kristina's aunt, Leola Brown.
I truly hope for the sake of both sides of her family, the Browns and the Houstons, and for Bobbi Kristina herself, that they do get justice. And I do personally believe that Nick Gordon had something to do with what happened to Bobbi Kris. Let's move on to the news that is making everyone go crazy, especially Nicki Minaj fans. At her show in Pittsburgh, Nicki made a big, maybe, kind of announcement. Here it is.
Pittsburgh. I need y'all to make some noise for the lady that got me starstruck. Nicki Minaj in the building one time.
Make some noise for my baby father. Make some noise for my baby father.
Now, so far, Nicki has yet to confirm or deny whether that was just a publicity stunt to take some of the heat off of Meek Mill for what's going on with him and Drake's beef and the fact that he's not really winning that, or if it really is true. But a fan did hit her up on Twitter and asked her about a picture, and she responded with, quote, "The shadow made an appearance in this picture as well," end quote. Now, another fan tweeted her, quote, "Congratulations on the baby news. So happy for you," end quote. And she responded with a laughing smiley face emoticon. I will say this, a lot of her costumes lately have covered up her tummy or had some type of tie in the front to distract from a possible baby bump, or the real distraction could be from the fact that Drake and everybody else is whooping Meek Mill's ass when it comes to the beef. I don't know. Time will tell. I'm Yasmin Young, and thank you for tuning in to Spill the Tea TV. Please follow me on Instagram. I'm all that Yaz, and of course, subscribe to me on YouTube. Make sure you tune in. I'm live on your radio, 93.7 WBLK. You can listen online, WBLK.com, 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday with the 2 to 6 takeover.